The dating reality show MILF Manor is based on the concept of older women in their 50s and 60s lusting after much younger men in their 20s, aka around the same age as their own sons. And while to some this may seem creepy or exploitative, at the show's core is the reminder that all the inhabitants of MILF Manor, from the premenopausal cougars to the 20-year-old twinks they want to kiss, have journeyed there in search of one all-important thing: a social media presence large enough to accept brand deals from companies that sell laxative fitness teas and waterproof personal massagers. Oh, I'm tearing up because I fell asleep face first in a pile of kitty litter and it really dries out my eyes. Oh, you think that's gross and weird? Well, just wait, because I haven't even shared the shocking twist that awaits these 16 contestants when they each arrive at this gorgeous mansion in Mexico, along with other enthusiastic young men and the moms they like to frequently take on romantic outings. So sign those permission slips and get a parent or guardian to accompany you for a trip full of juicy jealousy, steamy romances, and the kind of scandalous bachelorette party games that would send Magic Mike straight to therapy. As these participants try to get inside each other's heads to find out who's looking for love and who's looking for a son who will never move off to college and abandon them because you're just like your father, Brian. In today's unresolved mommy issue installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content here on the web, and we break them down like society does to public figures in an unhealthy relationship, even though they could probably use a little support and compassion right now, but too bad, because that's not my job. And that's the same lack of empathy with which I'm going to explain MILF Manor to you. But first, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you're also a soulless TV viewer and you want to see more coverage on salacious shows like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, or even more so if you've been watching for a while, like, why aren't you gonna click that subscribe button right over here? That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon where you can access bonus content, virtual watch parties. It's the most fun. Now, the less I say to set up MILF Manor, the better, because they're reserving a twist for you, so I'm reserving that reservation for you. All you need to know is that our MILFs, who are, I don't like that word. I don't like that it's moms. I like to blank because I don't want to do that with them. They're very attractive older women who all happen to be mothers. Let's meet our first mom. Her name is April, 59, and full of words that I wouldn't have said.
I don't think any of my sons realize that I have an extremely high libido. Hold on. Is that too much saying I have an extremely high libido? Should I just have said high libido?
Yes, horny twin sister of Taya Leone. The worst part about that sentence was definitely your strong choice of adverb. That'll be the reason you get fired from your job on the way home. She said, I wonder if my teenage sons know that they have a super sexy mama who loves getting brutally jackhammered by the dads she picks up at their soccer practice. Wait, was that too much for television? Should I have just said brutally regular hammered? As I said, all of these women love to talk about how they're rich, successful, and independent, and ready to meet some hot guys. It's not clear to me if they're pretending to know that the concept of the show is MILF oriented. It feels so crazy talking like this. This, by the way, show is on TLC, which at one point stood for the Learning Channel, but unofficially now stands for The Lost Cause. April there was from Studio City here in California, but our next guest is a local to Mexico, Pola, really giving us a sense of how well-adjusted the participants of reality TV tend to be.
I'm that kind of woman that really likes to be around a man. I've never been out by myself. Like in kindergarten, I had boyfriends.
Aw, what a cute story about the childhood abandonment issues you still haven't come to terms with. As you can tell from how good she looks wearing a vegan leather bralette, Pola here is a personal trainer. How come so many fitness experts will tell you that going to the gym is like therapy for them, followed by a sentence proving that no, it clearly isn't. She said, how could I have mental problems when being muscular and hot gives me all of the external validation my brain needs to allow me to live with myself? Good point, honey, and I bet you leave a great tip after trauma dumping on your lash technician every 2 weeks. Next, let's meet So Young, who has a fun little play on words that she likes to use with her name.
My name is So Young. When I meet good-looking my type of man, I introduce myself, say, hey, I'm so young, and I'm so.
For me, it was hard to even understand what she said underneath that bleep, so let me restate it. She's so young and she's so wet. And that's So Raven, not so young and so wet. I wonder if she's ever used that line on a guy at a bar and he was like, oh, I see what you're saying. Bartender, which of your restrooms have a diaper changing table? Because this tall, outgoing baby just told me she needs to be changed. It's no secret that reality shows like this are somewhat harsh and abrasive and arguably bad for the planet. Why should I say the same thing about the products that I clean my house with? Luckily, I don't anymore, thanks to the sponsor of today's video, BLUELAND, who have been supporters of this channel for quite a while. I use their hand soap every day. And now I'm taking on my other cleaning supplies, which when I look under the sink, it's like single-use plastic all over the place. It really bums me out. I'm finally taking a stand with BLUELAND. Most of those widely available cleaning products are 90% water anyway, which takes more resources to ship and is just water you're paying for. With BLUELAND products, just one tiny tablet gives you a whole bottle's worth of essential cleaners that work just as well as the stuff you would buy at the store, except all of their products are free of the nasty smelling stuff that burns my throat, like chlorine bleach, phosphates, phthalates, and parabens, which leave a streaky residue. I'm over it and I'm on to the newest. Plus, BLUELAND doesn't use any single-use plastics, not in their forever bottles, or even in their packaging or the material that they're shipping the products in. It's like, come on, we gotta all do this. We can all do this. And they're just as affordable as they are effective at cleaning your home. Only $2.25 per refill tablet, and the price goes down from there when you subscribe, which I love a subscription because I'm not trying to remember when this bottle is empty, you know? Especially now that I'm a pet owner, I love that these products are hypoallergenic. My dog Toast will sneeze at the slightest smell of a weird fragrance. Plus, everything that goes into BLUELAND is sourced from non-GMO and vegan ingredients. Yes, Mother Earth. I've already shown you the hand soap on this channel, but now I've got the Clean Essentials kit, which comes with a multi-surface cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and a glass and mirror cleaner, along with one refill tablet for each, plus a hand soap. The bathroom is my least favorite place to clean, but if I can just wipe down the sinks every so often, it really makes the whole place look better. The BLUELAND bathroom cleaner totally cuts through soap scum and toothpaste residue and leaves my sinks looking sparkling clean in no time at all. I've been switching over to refillable beauty products and other essentials around the home, and now it's time to give my cleaning products the same makeover. And if you're ready to take the same leap, all you have to do is click my link below and get 15% off your first kit. BLUELAND is sharing a very special offer just for my viewers, so click the link below and start cleaning your home with BLUELAND. Now let's spray some more television in our faces. What do you say? Everyone's showing their social media photos and talking about how they like younger men, while also showing off their children, who are usually like 16-year-old sons to 20-year-old sons. It took me a minute. I was like, why are we even finding out about these kids when they're there on the beach to get railed? But then I realized, oh, MILF, they literally have to be a mom. At one point, someone's like, the difference between MILF and cougar is like a MILF is somewhat better. I'm like, I think they're the same thing. I think they're the same thing. If you really want to get into semantics, I don't think we can, because they're the same thing. One, maybe a cougar doesn't have to be a mom. I think of Cougar Town from Courtney Cox Arquette. So yeah, either way, you've got a great dermatologist with lots of suggestions. That's what it sounds like on television anyway. We meet the rest of the MILFs. I will try to stop saying that. Everyone's really nice. Charlene, poor Charlene, seems like she did not know what she was getting into over here. And one of them is like, Charlene seems like she used to be hot, but she gained weight, is basically the words that came out of her mouth. I was like, not the MILFs fighting. That's the difference between a cougar and a MILF. The cougars will eat ya on the mountainside. And then in walks Kelly, who I knew she was trouble when she walked in.
I'm Kelly. My alter ego is Disco Mommy. Disco Mommy loves house music. She's really spontaneous. She's just fun.
And then, after being banished from Narnia, the White Witch went to Burning Man and made that her entire personality. And she also called herself Disco Mommy, who she describes as fun. And I thought, if you need an alter ego to be fun, then what does that say about the rest of your life? Like when you're not picking out blue lipsticks and Avicii songs to make your TikTok seem interesting. Not that I'm judging. Disco Mommy was probably born to protect Kelly from any more pain after an entire lifetime of substitute teachers pronouncing it Kel. She's Kelly with an E, not Liza with a Z. Keenan and Kel said yay. She has a lot of kids, like 6 kids. You know, I think this is nice. She's giving representation to half siblings. She says, people always ask me if all of those kids are from the same father. I said, why would I want to have that many kids with the same father? Which is fair enough. You don't have to want that. Some do because of lifelong commitment or whatever, but not for me. I don't even want the kids. Give me the cheeseburger, hold the kids. Hold the husband, give me the cheese. Let's see, we meet some other moms whose names I can't seem to scroll through right now. Oh, Shannon, she's cool. She used to be a break dancer in her earlier days, and now she's a MILF. They all take highly face-tuned Facebook photos that they shared with the producers to prove, what, that they've drank wine on the beach before? They have boobs? I see that, I see it. Good for you, ladies. All of the moms get phones, which are just like a device that the producers use to transmit messages, like DiRamio in America's Next Top Model. And they get a textual transmission finding out that it's time to meet their gentleman suitors. And from this point, it does seem like they all know there's gonna be an age gap playing into this, which I mean, like, someone would have to have told them what the proposed title of the show was. Even if they weren't gonna call it MILF Manor, then, like, the working title would have been like Untitled MILF Project, full of old broads. So they know.
I know that these guys are going to be younger. I have a very young, free spirit, and I connect to younger men, especially in the bedroom.
Why, do you let them play Xbox past their bedtime or something? Kelly, I'm worried that what you're implying is still a little too subtle for reality TV. Here's what I would say on the show. Guys always love when I invite them to come into my bedroom, especially when I also invite them to come into my That's just a personal example that works for me, Kelly. But don't feel bad. Did you hear how I borrowed your pronunciation of the word especially?
Especially.
I love that, because it lets people know that I've hit my head pretty hard during sex. We see little shots of the gentlemen as they come in. Lots of them need haircuts, IMHO. And then the high budget curtains open, which are actually just big silks, which are commonly used on film sets. I love when productions try to use blatant film equipment as like a part of the production design, because it's just like what was available. Anyway, this is where we get the major twist. Major twist to Ground Control.
That's my mom right there.
I am really confused right now.
Wait, that's my mom right there?
I see my son back there, and it's like, who are all these guys?
There's only one guy you should be worried about, and that's the one who seems to be lurking in that potted plant in the background. Who goes there, trespassing in MILF Manor? It better just be another one of my children who came here to spy on me flirting aggressively with people their age. That's right, the MILFs just found out that their own children, each of them have one son, in the dating pool. At first I was like, what a horribly cruel thing. And then I saw their reactions to it and realized, oh yeah, there's no way, A, this isn't staged, and B, even if it were, it would be an impossible secret to keep. These moms and sons obviously flew over to Mexico on the same flight next to each other, and casting directors would want to seat them next to each other on Zoom or whatever in the casting process to make sure they had like a funny or interesting story / rapport. It only makes sense that something like this would be staged, like most reality shows like this. And even if I didn't know that from personal experience working in television, I would know that because none of these MILFs or their sons are great actors.
I knew my son Gabriel was going to be in Mexico with me. I thought he was going to be on a separate dating retreat.
Well, your first red flag should have been that there's no such thing as a dating retreat. The 2nd through 15th red flags should have been that your son's dating retreat happened to be at the same exact time, in the same exotic city, city in the same part of Mexico, organized by the same reality TV producers who asked you the same questions about your willingness to date someone the same age as your mom or son. You know what I'm saying? Shows are fake. Like the Catfish TV show, that's all fake. They have to plan this all out or you're not sure you're gonna have a good ending. Like if I were truly surprised on a dating show with a family member being there to observe me, I would literally get on one of those upright paddle boards and ride off into the ocean until a whale ate me. People would leave the show if they weren't expecting it. So yes, they knew, the MILFs and the SILFs. Everybody here knew what was going to go on, and everybody here was desperate enough to agree to it anyway. I suppose we're supposed to think it's cute, some of their mom and son relationships. Like Paula and her son they're really close, but it's hard to appreciate that tender love when it's accompanied by them being like, oh, Joey, I'm gonna your friend from college tonight. And like, okay, sweetheart. This is going on television, just to remind you. Joey, by the way, seems to me a little in over his head.
Maybe I could get her out of her comfort zone and show her what it's like with a younger man.
That's a beautiful ring, by the way.
Thank you.
It kind of reminds me of your face.
By that, I mean, it looks over 40 years old and your ex-husband doesn't care if he never sees it again. Poor sweet Joey. He's just so young and so ready to repeat whatever cringy lines the off-camera interviewer feeds him. Like, what is he going to teach a 49-year-old woman about being with a 20-year-old man? Aside from how to start a podcast on trading cryptocurrency. Clearly, people weren't clamoring to get cast on this show because it feels a little... What's a nice way of saying bottom of the barrel? I guess just not saying it would have been nice, but that's not me. That's not MILFy me. That's not me in the MILF manor. The MILFs try to make it seem like Joey is one of the hottest, most charismatic guys here, even though he's sitting in the interview with all of the swagger of a terrified Minecraft YouTuber, and they're not really being funny. Like, one of the men is flirting with a woman, and that woman's son is like, I'm not calling you dad. That other guy's like, you're gonna call me daddy. I'm like, wait, are you gonna have a role-playing thing with him too? I'm listening? No. And then the mom is like, I'll call him daddy. And I was like, to me, this is a going to hell type of shit. Also, all of the moms are Christian. Not all of them, but at least two are like, God brought us here for a reason. Yeah, to embarrass yourself publicly. You're gonna call this child daddy? 20 is really young. That's like barely over 18. I mean, I know that I've had a history with like being underage and being with older men. That doesn't mean I don't see how it was not a good look for those men looking back. I mean, 20, I guess, whatever, but you're 49. And also your child is that age, so it feels like you are attracted to your child's physical appearance in an indirect way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to imply anything that stops older men from messaging me on dating apps, so let me just shut the up. Like Pola, I need the external validation that my physical body brings me. My physical body brings me. Sometimes my physical body just brings me puke if I eat too much sushi. Anyway, about that dating app where I get all these messages. Some people do look genuinely uncomfortable, like this is a party they do not want to attend.
I don't want to see who she's trying to flirt on, and now we're gonna be living together.
Who wants to sleep with their mom? Weird.
Weird, says the lady who came on TV to sleep with somebody at the same physical and mental stage as their son. Okay, I agree that it's weird. Weird that anyone would even enter a situation where that's a question that would be raised. But I guess that's just how badly these people want Instagram followers. They just found out they will be sharing a room with their mother or son, but not all of the bedrooms in MILF Manor are created equal. So we get our first little bit of competition here.
All the young men take their shirts off. The moms get a blindfold and figure out by touching their chests and abs which one is their son.
If you're not in the top 2 of this challenge, you lose out on the 2 best rooms in MILF Manor. But the people who win lose out on the respect of their friends and family who are watching back home, while they are trying to identify their shirtless sons by caressing their abdominals. That's a good TV thing. I'm so freaked out by this. Who asked for this? Who asked for this and is into this? It's weird though, because if these were like Salt and Pepper men and people my age, I would probably be like, Emmy, daytime Emmy. Oof. trouble. Anyway, who cares what your former roommate from college thinks about you when they see this? Because you just got the bedroom with the hot tub on the porch. But you have to share that hot tub with your son. See, so it's really hard to win this game. And when you look at it from a global perspective, like really zoom out, you got the bigger room, but holistically, you're on this show. You might as well be in the grave. Socially speaking, culturally, you're dead. You're a dead, buried body. MILF. All of the people caress their sons. A lot of them get it right. I don't know. Maybe that's like a maternal instinct thing. Or maybe some of those boys just have like identifiably weird nipple shapes. Can't relate. Perfectly circular over here. That's not true. I don't know. I've never used a protractor to check. Anyway, as the MILFs and their SILFs are settling in for the evening, Kelly takes it upon herself to really grab some camera time. Out of the whole cast, she's the one who feels like she most knows that she's on a reality TV show, and she's willing to do what it takes to give the audience what they presumably want, but I want it to stop. I don't want to see her convincing this man to come up to her in her son's room.
Come upstairs, come upstairs.
I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
No. The same room on the left.
You're joking!
No, Joey, that would be a sick joke. So they're really gonna have sex in front of you. Ryan, unzip that onesie you packed before even knowing about the mommy-son roleplay component of this trip. Interesting. You're really wearing that. Okay. But no, Joey is like, get out of here. And Ryan's like, I was just coming in to say hi. Thus proving that the producers were like, invite Ryan up to your room. Ryan, go up to her room. And then they go up there and they're like, what do you want us to do now? Like, Joey's in here brushing his teeth and watching Nickelodeon, so. But obviously that's like a big thing they try to play up on the show, is the son's being like, I can't believe he's going for that guy. Or the mom's being like, I think he's cute. My son is trying to block me. It's like, stop saying the word around your son. We get a feel for some of the other SILFs who didn't have a formal introduction, like this one, who is really introducing himself now.
I'm a very big feet person. And Paula has these feet that I just want to like oil up and just massage and get real warm, and then paint her toenails maybe a color.
It kind of seems like Jimmy is confusing sex with a pedicure. Nobody tell him, okay, I'm in, Jimmy. I got my toes done 2 weeks ago, but they're already chipped. Also, I'm sensitive to acetone. What's your alternative method of removal?
Suck the acrylic off them toes.
Oh no, never mind. I don't think he's passionate about foot care. He seems to be really getting an erection talking about this. I'm just gonna wait till I get back home and go to my regular salon. I have my own set of tools they use on me. Such a germaphobe. Whoa. I'm just kidding. We love the foot fetish representation, Jimmy. I just wish it weren't like your new friend's mom whose acrylic nails you were gonna suck off with your mouth. I also wish you weren't gonna do that. That's gonna take some nail bed with it. Damaging. You better be shooting loads of biotin up in that. That's the case, honey. That's all I gotta say. There's a little bit of a romance going on between Kelly and Paula's son. Charlotte, who has been kind of sitting on the sidelines this whole time, seems to be maybe the most judgmental of all of the people on MILF Manor's facility, premise, property.
She definitely wants to be the belle of the ball or the Barbie. It's a little much. Like, this isn't a game show.
Yeah, it's a competition reality show where Team MILF just happens to be playing games against Team Boy Child as part of a very serious social experiment to find out who amongst them will be crowned most fuckable cougar. I'm glad somebody is treating this with the respect it deserves. Strict Mom isn't here to be your friend. She's here to fuck your friend and make you uncomfortable. Hashtag mom life, hashtag mama bear, hashtag don't mess with the mom. So that's the setup for the rest of MILF Manor. I can't imagine what they're gonna do for another 8 to 10 episodes. Potentially, I would die watching it. There's been a lot of news articles about the uncomfortable power dynamics and the normalization of large age gaps between people of disparate incomes, not to mention just your kids being involved in your sex life at all. It kicks up a lot of silt for people, and I can imagine this show is triggering and unpleasant to watch at the very least, as it should be when people are just casually saying things like this.
I'm not sure if Paula is embracing this whole situation. Like, I thought she came here to date a younger guy. not her son.
Well, from a Freudian perspective, she's here to do both, if that makes you feel any better. It shouldn't, but what do I know? I get uneasy looking at any type of heterosexual nonsense. To me, this is only like a half step crazier than having a gender reveal party. So I don't know. Nuke the whole island, that's what I say. No, not really. What do you think of MILF Manor? Am I crazy, or is this like such an uncomfortable thing to watch? I can't be, because everyone who DM'd me said it's crazy and uncomfortable to watch. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Had you seen trailers for this? It seems like an SNL skit. They had MILF Island as a joke on an episode of 30 Rock. Let me know what you think. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more cringy reality shows like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. So turn on notifications and you'll always know when I'm surprising you with your barely legal son coming up while you're in a bikini behind you. Oh, erase that sentence from your memory. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon where you can access exclusive episodes, virtual watch parties. I've got exclusive merch coming to patrons very soon. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for sneaking into a manor full of MILFs with me today. I will see you next time.